So you're most welcome to this broadcast and press briefing. I must start by introducing my brother, Sandile Zungu, who is very familiar to you. Manzini and I have become familiar faces on matters of AmaZulu because we are AmaZulu Football Club. And at this stage, I think it's very important that we as AmaZulu family convey our deepest and most heartfelt condolences. First and foremost, to the family, the Madisha family, for the loss of a very promising young life. And the same condolences go to Patrice Motsepe, the president of Mamelodi Sundowns, who has invested so much in making his players some of the most admirable in the league and arguably in the continent as well, for yet another loss. The same condolences go to the entire family of Mamelodi Sundowns, including the fellow players of Madisha, the technical staff at Mamelodi Sundowns. The loss that they are feeling is our loss. Most certainly is our loss as Usuthu, and I'm sure it's a loss of the entire soccer fraternity in South Africa. So we really wish the family of Madisha well during these very, very difficult times. Players who have plied the trade with Madisha in the Bafana, who come from all sorts of teams, including our team, AmaZulu Football Club, must remain very strong. And when they take to the field next time, they must take it for Madisha, as well as Anele Ngonga. Thank you very much. As you know, AmaZulu Football Club lost the services of its head coach, Ayanda Dlamini, who expressed his wish that he be redeployed to the development ranks of AmaZulu Football Club, which wish was acceded to on provision that he accepts that he is part of our future as AmaZulu Football Club, and that his redeployment to the development ranks will give him the time to enhance his knowledge of the game, to earn his badges, so that in future he can become available to become head coach of AmaZulu Football Club. Vision 2032, which is about making AmaZulu Football Club one of the greatest teams in this country, lives on, and he is buying into that vision. So we have 12 years to fulfill that vision. In the short term, we've got goals for ourselves. Let me reiterate: we want to be in the top 4 of this of the current PSL season. And everyone and anyone who comes into AmaZulu Football Club, understands our express wish, and we are quite single-minded in that objective. We have been hard at work searching for a head coach, and since we announced around about this time last week the departure of Ayanda Dlamini, we have been inundated literally with requests for interviews, with requests for interrogation of the credentials of the these individuals who believe they can do a good job for AmaZulu Football Club. We've been really most sincerely heartened and flattered by the response we have received from people who are really world-class coaches in their own rights, and unfortunately illustrious, great, the credentials of the names that have been handed to us and that we have spoken to, as they may be. There can only be one head coach for AmaZulu. And we have chosen that head coach. And I'll advise that the head coach of AmaZulu be brought forward for the whole world to know who is the person who is stepping into the hot seat.
Mr. Chairman?
Let's take a seat.
Is this the 18th cup?
I am back in the 18 area.
So welcome home, Benni McCarthy. Benni is in the 18 area of Usuthu. All my patients on you go shazan babona bula.
Green looks good on me, Obrigado.
I'm sure you'll agree with me that when you want to build an aspirational brand that we want AmaZulu to become, we've got to demonstrate that, among others, the kind of technical staff we build, and in particular the kind of head coach or team manager that we bring to the fold. Benni McCarthy is associated with aspiration. We want to compete for young talent who must say, I want to play for AmaZulu Football Club. Why? Because amongst others, I want to be coached by Benni McCarthy. I want to be maximizing my opportunities and chances of playing for Bafana Bafana. Why? Because the head coach is no stranger to Bafana Bafana. He's done so much for this brand called Bafana Bafana. I want to play in Europe, and therefore I want to play for AmaZulu Football Club. Why? Because the head coach has done it all in Europe. So when you talk about aspiration, for us at AmaZulu, the future of these young boys that have taken a conscious decision to make playing soccer their profession of choice, it's about them. So I want to make it easy for them to fulfill their dreams by bringing the best technical support closer to them, so I can create a future for them. So we're not just doing it for AmaZulu brand, we're doing it for young boys and their futures. We know that the family of AmaZulu Football Club, including our administrative staff, our players, our supporters in KwaZulu-Natal, in the main, in Gauteng and elsewhere, are ululating at the news. So welcome home, Benni.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And yeah, ladies, gentlemen, media.
Do you mind stepping in here?
Yeah.
No, Mr. Chairman.
To the center.
No, I'm good here.
Okay. Like, come
Good,
closer
no
then.
worries. Now, first of all, I would, have to give a big thanks to the chairman, Mr. Manzini as well, for restoring the faith in me. As a person, most of you know me throughout my career as a young boy, on stepping onto the playing field, and then some of you got to witness when I hanged up my boots and then decided to become a coach. Like the ambitions that I have, and when I had my first conversation with the chairman, and he explained to me, he didn't need to take a lot of convincing for me to want to get involved, to be on board on the project, because somebody that speaks to you about wanting to change, not the football players' lives that's playing at the club at this moment in time, but the ones to come. The future, the future that this country has, because there's so much talent, and how can I not want to be a part of such a club that has those aspirations? Because I was a young boy myself, and I was fortunate enough that I was given an opportunity, and because somebody sowed that kind of faith in me, I was able to go and have the career that I had and made something of my life. And the millions of other young players that's out there that's dying for the same opportunity or the same chance that I had, so, and I'm going to have that opportunity now at AmaZulu to give those young players that aspiration to think that, here's a guy who believes in young players, who would give young players an opportunity if they as good as that. And AmaZulu has plenty of talented young players out there. So so me being the coach and being able to guide these players into the future to make AmaZulu one of the top teams that we're aiming for in the country, that we'll be able to compete with the likes of Sundowns, with the likes of Orlando Pirates, who just won their first major trophy after last time when I was still there. So, with the likes of Kaizer Chiefs, the history that they have, that's the history that we're trying to foresee for Orlando, for AmaZulu, and we're trying to build on that.
Thank you very much. One thing that you'll have to learn very quickly, Benny, is to shout the AmaZulu slogans. When you say Hebe, you say Usuthu.
Yeah.
Hebe!
Usuthu!
Hebe!
Usuthu!
Hebe!
Usuthu!
Hebe!
Usuthu!
Uyayivumela.
Uyayivumela impi, uyayivumela.
That part I must still learn.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Questions? We are ready to take.
Chair from Kickoff. President, how do you feel about this being one of the worst kept secrets in South African football?
Well, the excitement that we have always had about the prospect of Benny coming to AmaZulu, we couldn't hide. Hence, the worst kept secret. But it's not so much about keeping a secret that matters. It's about the future that we're going to build together at AmaZulu that excites us more. And there are a few things that are just not secrets. We want to compete in the field. Benny is a terrible loser. He wants to win all the time. So are we. And so we'll be playing to win. Not at all costs, not by hook or crook, fairly. It is not a secret that we want to be the top brands in soccer going forward. And there are great brands in soccer in South Africa, and we want to be among them. This season, we definitely want to finish in the top 4. We've got the players, we've got the technical support, we've got now the head coach. It is no secret that we want to be the best soccer brand in this country come the year of our centenary, which is in 12 years' time. And we have the administrative staff, we've got the ownership structure that is prepared to back that vision. And Rome was not built in one day, but someone had to lay the foundation. And so we're in that foundation laying stage. So we're very excited about what you call the West Cape secret. It's now reality. Thank you. Look, we started in earnest to talk, say, on Tuesday last week. For the longest time, since one came into Usuthu, we've been bombarded with suggestions. So look, you have signed on all these great players, and everyone was saying Ayanda Dlamini is one for the future. They were saying invest in Ayanda because he's going to carry AmaZulu into the next first few years of our next century. Invest in him, support him to earn the badges. But they were saying you're now ready for a head coach with pedigree, a head coach whose ambitions are aligned with those of the team, whose experience will be able to inspire those big names that are in the team. And all the time, Benny's name featured. All the time. It was featuring in those discussions. But formally, we started speaking as soon as we received a call from Ayanda saying he would like to be redeployed. Then we triggered the conversations. And it took quite a few days to conclude. It was fortunate that, among other considerations that Benny had on his table, the prospect of coaching a brand like ours made sense. And it was not therefore to be difficult to wrap our discussions within the week that we've had. And his flight was finalized literally 3 days ago. We could have been having this briefing yesterday. His COVID test was standing on the way. We're being frank with you. And hence things had to be delayed by a day. And that's basically the timelines.
And as for your question, why I joined the team, because I see so much potential. The signings that the chairman, that the club has made means the intention is there. They want to compete. They don't just want to fill up the numbers. They want to be up there at the top. And I think when I had my opportunity at my first job as a coach, I didn't do bad, and I think we overachieved very much, and with what this club has in place already, it's just for me literally to come in, get to know everybody else, and try and get all the players on board on the mission, what the club is expected, where the club wants to be, and then we go in that direction. And the chairman wants top 4, but my ambitions is far more greater than top 4. I think my baby years is over. I've done my baby steps. I'm able to learn how to walk when I got the opportunity at in the Cape. Now I'm ready to race Usain Bolt. I'm ready for the world champions 100 meters, and I think with the players that AmaZulu has, I can't see why I can't run that race and even aim for top spot, for first place, because it's very competitive. I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would. But I think we're not arrogant about it, or I'm not cocky about it, but I know what I can bring to the table, and I know if the players can give me the cooperation, the talent and the quality that they have with what I think we can achieve, I think this club can reach their targets far quicker than expected in 12 years' time.
Let me start with the latter. The length of the contracts is long enough for Benny to fulfill his ambitions of sustaining the greatness of this team. If he still enjoys his time at AmaZulu, and we enjoy our association, we'll extend it. We are truly inspired by the likes of Sundowns and Pete Mosimane, who was there for quite some time to fulfill his ambitions. And I'm not a friend of changing things all the time. I'm a fan of long races and stable relationships. So that marks our intentions to have Benny even converting his surname to McCarthy. In terms of working with Allan Freese, Allan Freese is one of our most valuable members of our technical staff, and we're very inspired by how he supported the young Ayanda, a young, not in a condescending fashion, but someone who is a very young coaching career. And he will be at the bench when we play against Lamontville Golden Arrows on Wednesday. He will have prepared the team. And it is our intention to work with such a person who is giving it all to AmaZulu. At the same time, I want to be very frank. I want to do what needs to be done to make Benny's association with AmaZulu a success. If Benny says, I've got certain idea regarding my assistant, we'll support him. If he says I've got ideas regarding this side of the technical support, we'll be more inclined to support him. At the same time, when I make sure that we look after those who are within the system, who are doing that damnedest best to make this team a success. So at the moment, the answer to your question is it's a bridge that we have not got to. But how we'll approach it will be on the lines that I've outlined earlier. Thank you.
Like I said, when I spoke with the chairman, he ticked all the boxes that I needed. For me, I think it's super important. Success of the club comes with the groundwork, and when the coach have a relationship, fantastic relationship, good understanding with when the coach is able to work and understand with the chairman, with the GM, the manager, with people within the club, I think that's making of a success story, and so far it's been nothing short of that. Everyone at the club is all pulling in the same direction, and when I speak, we speak the same language already. Everybody knows what's expected from them. Everybody knows what we have to do to get to the goal, and yeah, and obviously I will use my experiences that I've gained from my journey as a player and as a coach as well, that I don't make the same little mistakes that I've made in my first job. But so far, everything has gotten off to a wonder start. I couldn't have asked for anything better, and I'm convinced that it's only going to get even better, you know, because the understanding is there, the respect is there, and you know, the work ethic. You can already see what the club has done so far prior to me even walking into the club. You know, the club, how they tried to build with the signings, the players that was brought in. And if I was at the club at this time, I think I would have gone for every single player that the club has brought in thus far. I would have also gone and get the same players. So the understanding is already there without even when us having that conversation and the chairman asking me if I wanted to take on this project and becoming the head coach. You know, the signings that was made could have even come from me. So that is there, and it can only grow from there.
Thank you. Your second part of the question is, we are aware that the transfer window is brought forward to late or mid-January. And we've got, let's say, at least 4 games before the transfer window opens, or maybe 3 games. And by that time, we'll have assessed, Benni will have assessed where he needs to strengthen, and we'll support him. You know, and some of the players who are great players, hopefully they will have recovered well enough to can feature. Remember, just to single out 3 names, Spiwa Shabalala has not played as yet because he got injured at training. No, this is one of our greatest signings during the previous transfer window. Spare Maduna, a very bright young talent, was also injured. He is now training with the team. Nduli, our top goal scorer last year, is raring to go. He was injured. He's now training with the team. The options for Benni are huge, especially in the attacking side. You know, there are areas that we will be the first to admit need strengthening. That said, you know, he's got the brightest mind to assess where the weaknesses are, given the style of play he wants to introduce to the team. And so we're approaching the transfer window with an open mind. There's no question about it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, first of all. And next time, I hope you wear Everton topper, not Chelsea. I'm joking. No, obviously, I think me coming in as a former striker myself, I think it's people always think that you spend more time coaching the strikers. And yeah, of course you give them the confidence, you show them there, but for me it's working with the whole squad and trying to improve the way that the style that we play, how we're going to play from the back, from the goalkeeper, so that the strikers can be able to perform their duty, and that's to deliver game by game, to score the goals, you know. And Shaba, he was a former teammate of mine in the Bafana national team, so a lot of experience. So there's a few things that I, as a player, can also, as a coach, can learn something from Shaba, you know. But yeah, I want to try and make Shaba the best player that he could be. Pakamani Maslambo, fantastic young talent, and at a few years he was compared to me by a coach that gave me my first opportunity as a young player. And yeah, I'm hoping I can turn his life, his career around, you know, and it's not just to make him a better player, make him a better human being, make him a better person, because I think that's more important. If you make a player a better person, then the football side benefits the most, and that's what I tend to do with every single player in the squad. And I can't wait to start, but I have to take it step by step. You know, when I get my opportunity to meet the players and to be able to start on the training field with them, and then I'm hoping that I can implement all those qualities and then make every single player better than what they are now.
1 year from the dugout.
And yeah, 1 year from the dugout, it's been an absolute nightmare. I think it didn't help also with COVID-19. You know, it's been a tough year for everybody. And I'm a person that eats, sleeps, breathes football. And becoming accustomed to just watching it on the computer, watching it on TV, yeah, it stressed me out a little bit, because you know, I want to show my passion on the touchline, and I don't have that long to wait. A week from now, I'll be in the front line, being passionate as I always am, and then hopefully I can convey the same passion to the players on the field, and AmaZulu will start becoming most people's favorite team.
Yes.
No, most definitely. I think it doesn't take a genius to look at the history of AmaZulu Football Club. You know, the passionate fans. Why do you think MTN 8 is brought to Durban every single time? Because of the passion that people in Natal have for football. Why do you think Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs want to play in Durban? Because you know, you're going to get the atmosphere, you're going to get the vibe, you're going to get the passion from the fans. And then hopefully that's going to change now, because there's a new sheriff in town.
Yes.
And AmaZulu is going to provide the fans with everything they need that they get from, you know, the likes of Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates. So them big clubs, it's not necessary for them to come to Durban anymore, because the team wearing green, it's the team that's going to make people happy, that's going to make people, you know, want to relive the happy days, because good times are coming to this football club. That I can assure you, with not just word of mouth coming from the coach, but I'm sure every single player that's watching, that's sitting there, that's in part of this squad, they'll be vibrant, because they know the passion that I come in and what's going to be expected from them. So yeah, people pull up their socks, because I think we need to bring the joy and the smiles back to the KwaZulu-Natal region, and AmaZulu is the only team that can do that. I think, yeah, I'm going to skip the first question. I'm going straight to this, because it is heartbreaking that, you know, that mothers and fathers are losing kids in the manner that they are. But we need to be more safe and more careful as a society. You know, just be a bit more wiser. If we're behind the wheel, make sure that you are in conditions, you know, that it's not going to cause the tragic to not just the football clubs, to the families and to teammates, but, you know, it's life that's being lost, and it is sad. And obviously I was flying when I didn't really see the news, and then obviously when I arrived, and I want to pass on my condolences to Modisha's family, and for myself, the chairman, AmaZulu as a football club, the players, you know, we pass on our condolences to the family of the player and to Mamelodi Sundowns, you know, for their loss, because he was an important player in the side, and it's a massive tragedy that happens in the space of a month. Two wonderful young talented players with great futures ahead of them. One has made strides, Anele, and I was looking so forward also of having that opportunity to work with him when I was asked to become the job here, and now unfortunately I'm not going to have that opportunity, but their spirits will be with us, and the players will know every single game that they step onto the field that, you know, that we appreciate the people that we lost, and we'll try and do them justice. Like you said, lay the foundations from day one. I think just for everybody to know that hard work, which is probably what I preach every time, whatever they've been doing up until now, when I come through the door, hard work walks through the door. And I think that's what players need to understand, you know, that they play football. It's not a job. It's your life, you know, and I expect them to play football how you would walk through life. Everyone wants to be successful. Everyone wants to have the nice big houses, drive the fancy cars, want to have lots of money in your bank account. And that's what playing football is about, you know. You don't play it as it's not a job. It's how you take life, you know. So, and through life, it's about hard working. So when I walk through the door, everybody knows that hard work is coming, but it's going to pay off, and that will be my first order before I talk about tactics and the way we want to play, that everybody knows from today onwards, hard work starts.